I believe a lot of us go through life paralyzed by our past, by something that happened in our past, by something someone said to us, by something we did or didn't do, whatever that may be. Today's a new day, and whatever you've gone through doesn't have to determine where you're going. So just recently, I was having a conversation with one of my coaches, and this particular person is kind of realizing something has been holding them back, and they've been trying to determine what that is. And come to find out, this person just isn't very good at grammar. In school, they weren't an excellent student. They didn't learn, a lot of basic just grammar rules. So what happens anytime this person goes to write something, to compose an email or to do a blog or, even to write a text, is they're reminded of what they're incapable of? Or they immediately, start feeling stupid or not good enough or not smart enough. And so they're just shutting down. Now, as this person, is communicating more and more about how they're feeling, which I'm really upset about. I hate for someone, especially as an adult, and someone that's actually going after their dreams and trying to improve themselves. Even when this person will pick up a book, they're reminded they're not a good learner. Whether someone told them this, whether it's their reality or whether this has just been their experience, they're hitting a roadblock and they're getting paralyzed. So, this person has two choices. They can give up, throw in the towel, avoid using grammar, avoid reading, but in turn, they're going to avoid growing and they're going to avoid transforming their life into who they want to be, going after their dreams and achieving something that they might not have thought possible. I don't know if you've ever done that in your life, if you've ever done something that initially you doubted or initially you weren't sure was in your realm of possibility. But if you haven't, I encourage you to do so, because once you do it once, it's going to become contagious. You're no longer going to let fear or whatever's been told to you and whatever's been ingrained inside of you that's holding you back, you're not going to let that stand in the way anymore. So I told this person, like I said, you have two choices. You can stay where you are, which obviously you're not satisfied, you're not fulfilled, and you're searching for more. Is that a happy place? Is that where you want to stay? Every time you do pick up a book, you feel stupid. Every time you try to put yourself out there, you're reminded of what you didn't do in high school. Or you can learn. It's that simple. How many times you hear stories of, elderly people graduating from college? I love that, because guess what they decided? They're going to learn. It's not too late for them. So I don't know what's holding you back, but odds are there's a solution that's pretty simple. And it's probably one you're avoiding due to embarrassment or due to, just not wanting to put in the effort. But pick your poison. You know what I mean? Do you want to stay where you are? Are you satisfied always feeling that way for the rest of your life? Or do you want to put in a little work and maybe have a little sacrifice and grow into the person you are meant to be? That is the difference. In my life, I've had very similar experiences. I waited tables for about 12 to 13 years. There were many things of waiting tables that I loved, and that's what drew me to the job. But then on the other flip side, there were a lot of things I hated, and I used to dread going to work. I used to sometimes even cry knowing that I had a full week ahead of me because it just wasn't fulfilling every need I had in my life. So once again, I had two choices. I could be that person that went to work every day and complained about how much I hated my job to my coworkers, to my family, to my friends, to my husband. And I could just be miserable and continue to be miserable and continue to make everyone around me miserable. Or I could do something about it. You probably have a scenario in your life where you have the same two decisions. Stay where you are, stay stuck, stay paralyzed. And maybe it's your safe place. And maybe it is what it is and you're okay with that. But maybe there's still a part of you that's a little bit bigger that says, wait a minute, what if I just do what I gotta do to change what I gotta change to get to where I wanna go? That's the difference in the champions and in those that lead a mediocre life and stay where they are and give up on themselves and their dreams. Because if you don't go after your dream, nobody else is going to. So whenever you come to your crossroads, Choose wisely. Don't be the person that nobody wants to see coming, that nobody wants to listen to, that is so predictable that they hate their life, but they won't do anything about it. Be the person that decides, I'm drawing my line in the sand, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm miserable, and I'm gonna find the steps to get out of my situation, because that is when your life will change, and that is when you'll make an impact that will affect the people around you, it will affect your family and your children, they're watching. So choose change. And choose work, and choose effort, and choose sacrifice, because it's going to be a small price to pay to follow your dreams and to actually live life and embrace life. So hopefully you enjoyed my Jessica's Jam today. If you want me to help you get healthy from the inside out, shoot me an email personally, jessica@jessicabowsernelson.com. I love working with people that want more in life, that are ready to choose the right hand and take life by the horns and make it what you want it to be. Have a great one.